Hello everybody, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We are Jark from Puma and welcome to our first ever keynote about creating house music. Or actually, as we prefer to call it, dance music, as we make music to dance to. And we are doing that now together for 25 years. So
I mean, look at it. That's 25 years ago.
It's a little bit of a birthday together. And to show you that things were a little bit different when we started making music, we bring some old gear with us. It's a Korg MS-20. It's a very old synthesizer with a patch bay. And when we get it in like 25 years ago, it was already old because it's from 1978. We didn't know what to do with it. We could put cables in it, turn knobs, so we were happy, but...
Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny. It was in our studio, that was my bedroom, I was still living with my parents. And it was standing there like for years, because it had no MIDI, and we're like, if it has no MIDI, we don't know what to do with it. So it was just standing there because we thought it looked cool and made us look like professional or something.
So the first track we're going to talk about is called Moving Through the System. It's a track we did on our moniker Jark Prongo. We made the track in 1989.
98.
98.
Here it is. Maybe some of you remember this one. Maybe I should play it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah. Here, like a this wasn't planned. So we were fooling around because we finally got in 98 we finally got a 909 and we were just plugging it in our mixer. We had this mixer with the patch bay and there were all kinds of cables going on. And then we thought one day, what happens if we plug this 909 into this MS-20, totally not knowing what we were doing. So it was super random. And the moment we plugged it in and we patched some other cables, it started to make this noise. And we looked at each other and were like, maybe we should make a record with this.
Yeah, why not?
So we did. And yeah, it turned out to be a great success. Lots of DJs from the progressive scene, Sasha, John Digweed, but also Sander Kleinberg, and those kind of guys. They started to play this. Eventually, it got licensed to huge tunes with an amazing Dave Clark remix, by the way. And then all of a sudden, this happy little accident became this monster of a track. So yeah, I think René's going to show you.
Yeah, so we have
kind of the process, but we still don't have any clue how the stuff works. So
first of all, when we had a 909, we put it through MIDI and we only used the sound. So we never programmed the 909. But the funny thing is, you can just put buttons. You don't have to be a drummer or something or a musician. You can put buttons and then listen, and if it sounds good, it's good. So I'm not a musician. Let's try it. Hello, everyone.
Yep.
Nice. So that's a 909 clap.
Awesome.
You can switch the instruments here. So I go to bass, drum. Still make no sense. So let's. So now we all know where Thru is coming from. How do you go? So that's the 909.
I think it's a pretty awesome machine, actually.
But we thought it still sounds a little bit boring. So the next step we did.
So we have to clean our line here, and then we put it in our MS-20. Let's see if it works. We have all these holes and we have cables. So I don't know, maybe if we here's like out and there's in, there's another trigger out, trigger in. What happens if we connect all these things? So for example, let's go only to the kick. So that is what happened. And so we're like, oh, mind blown. And oh yeah. So the sounds of the 909 are triggering the oscillators of the MS-20, and it produced this amazing sound. We don't have any clue how to reproduce moving through a system. We tried, last week. Like how we can do it. This is what we got, I think it sounds cool. And maybe we should make a record with it, I don't know.
So you use the sound without it?
No, not yet. Oh yeah, I can do that as well. Yeah. Let's see.
So the 909 is still triggering the MS-20, but you don't hear the 909 anymore.
Get this machine as a plugin. It sounds really good. You can do the same stuff, like virtually plugging in cables and putting your stuff through the MS-20 and just fool around with it. I think it's really inspiring, but also really inspiring to have this old machine with the knobs and the noise, and it's not really.
When it gets warm, it's getting out of tune as well.
Yeah, because it's
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to make a little track with this noise?
Yeah. Yeah, let's try.
That's the minute.
Okay. So let's see what we've got here. I was like, maybe you should add something, but I mean, what can you add to this? It's like less than 909.
Yeah. Okay. No, let's press it on vinyl then.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we're going to make a step in time. Actually, we're going further back because we're going to talk about one of the first tracks we ever did. It's kind of a funny story because in that time I did a radio show. Playing only house music for 3 hours a month. Really rare because it's 25 years ago, so there was no other radio who was doing that. And then I bought a Roland W30 and I tried to make music.
Oh, here it is.
It's a sequencer, a keyboard and a sampler involved, so we don't need anything more.
Yeah, maybe some people know it because already used. Maybe they still use it, but we're talking to Junior Sanchez yesterday. He said this is what was his machine. Also for us, when I started making music, really making music, this was my sampler, the X7000 AK. It was 12-bit and it had maybe 4 seconds of sample time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4, that was it. Maybe some kids here don't realize that was, for me, this was heaven because I could sample stuff. I would hear the 909 on Love Can Turn Around, not realizing it was a 909, but I really liked the hard-hitting sounds of that record. And then I could sample the snare of Love Can Turn Around. I was like, yeah. So this was super awesome to have. And then Rene came on when we met. He had a W30. It was like 14 seconds of sample time. Oh my god.
But anyway, at the radio station I could play my own demos because it was my own show. So when I did that, I asked for people who were listening to the show to send in demos. And there was one guy who sent in the demo, and it was Gaston. And so I liked it, and we went to the studio, or actually to his bedroom. That sounds a little...
It was fun though.
But this is so we started to make a jingle for the radio show. Just an intro, you know, to the radio show, and then we make a record. And then people who were listening to the radio show said, "This jingle, you should make a record of, because it sounds so good." So we did. First we did the 4 to the floor version, the normal version, and later came
here, my bedroom. Atari, I bought it from the dentist because he didn't know what to do with it. And it was the only computer that time with MIDI ports, so you could run Cubase on it. You know, see those 3 pixels? That's Cubase. And you could trigger the synths. So there's my D20. That's where all the synth sounds from Give It Up come from, and I could trigger, you know, like this, and the sampler. So it was a big step up actually from the D20, because I used to make music with the D20 only, and it had a sequencer. But for example, if I needed a bass line that would, you know, like had to run for 5 minutes, I had to play it for 5 minutes. And if I made a mistake at 4 minutes, I had to do it again. So really rudimentary stuff. So the Atari was a big step up.
So when we finished this Give It Up track, the next day, a good friend of us gives us a CD with Brazilian drums on it. And first we thought, oh, that sounds cool. So let's use the drum hits to make a 4 to the floor record. So we were trying that, but it wasn't working out. So then we thought, let's pretend we're Brazilian. Makes sense, right? And show them what we did.
Yeah, we took our, actually we have every piece of gear, still we have it. Every piece of gear we ever used, we stored it at the ADE above our studio. So we took our W30 and a box full of floppies, search for the samples of Give It Up. So we found them, and we actually put them in Logic to show you guys, you know. So there you have it. And then we thought, okay, we can make an intro and, you know, do stuff like that, and maybe make a beat with it, like. So we did, and we recorded that as MIDI. So you have this beat. So what we normally would do is quantize all the stuff, but in this case we thought it needs like a looser feel. So I tried to replicate, you know, the MIDI pattern, because we can't use the Atari anymore. I think it died. So I replayed it, and I can show you what happens if you put all the quantize on, because now it sounds like this. I put it on 100% and no swing. And it sounds super stiff. No, it isn't Give It Up anymore. And people often ask us about our beats, and one of the things we often do is not quantize or little bit of quantize, little bit of swing, maybe the hi-hats a different swing than the claps or the snare, all to give it, that you can dance to it, more more a human feel. Get it, my Dutch and English.
And it makes it at the same time really difficult to mix it in. So we force the people to use the intro, because if you try to mix it in another record, it will not beat match.
It would make you look like you can't DJ. So we had this drum pattern, and then we came across a recording of a crowd, a football crowd, shouting Pele. Well, okay, we're shooting drums, Pele, makes sense. Pele. And we had a triangle. And we had some toms. And we had this guy. It sounds a bit weird, but it makes sense if you put it together with the drums. It's like. So there you have it. Maybe it's funny to mention is that we didn't have like a proper studio, I mean, that was our mixer. We had 8 channels. We had one reverb unit, one synth, the W30. The speaker there, actually the woofer was broken, and we had an loudspeaker. The tweeter was broken. So we made his record without, really mixing. It was only leveling, and only the EQ we had was like bass and treble and a little reverb. That was it. So it was a matter of leveling all the stuff, and until it sounded good. So that's maybe something you can, take with you if you're in your supercomputer with 1 million plugins. Sometimes it's all about the levels and the.
And it's not the machine who makes the music, it's you who makes the music, so you don't need all this fancy stuff. It's handy.
Yeah.
So nowadays we are very, very happy that we can make music from our laptop, because now we're going, if we travel, we always have our studio with us. We only need headphones or some speakers, maybe a little keyboard, that's not really necessary. So, same with DJing, we're so happy we don't have to carry your records anymore, but just a stick. And this is our studio now, so no more.
Yeah, but all the plugins are. Oh yeah. So the next track we're going to show you is a song we remixed for our friend Oliver Heldens. He asked us to remix his track Ibiza 77. Can you feel it? And now we're going to kind of show you how the process went. So we started with this sound. Actually, we didn't start with this sound, we made this sound. It's there's a lot of noise now. Yeah, noise is always there. So it consists of one of my favorite piano sounds, Alicia Keys, in Contact, Session Strings Pro, some, vintage kind of thing, and trombone. I don't know why we use trombone, but it sounded good. So, okay, this is the sound. Now, what should we do with it? Maybe we need some chords, because I can show you the vocals for this.
The voice is gone.
Yeah.
It's the H delay.
It is, yeah. Good point.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? 'Cause tonight it's going down. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
So we thought, okay, maybe this needs some epic chords, you know, like goosebumps and epic shit. So what we often do is use this really cool MIDI plugin. It's the chord trigger. I know Ableton has kind of the same kind of MIDI plugin, and also Studio One has it, maybe QS as well, I don't know. But so what you can do is play in chord and have the chord trigger learn it. So you only have to press one key and then the chord sound. So this is and it's also cool because you get new ideas, because you can do things you cannot play, but the machine does a lot of things for you. That gets the creative spark going, and then you get new ideas, and then it's super awesome. And so what I also often do is put a transposer after the chord trigger. Because if I will play with both plugins, so it goes like this. So if I would turn off the transposer is a MIDI plugin that forces the notes that are being played in a certain scale. So in this case, the vocals were in G minor, and I forced them into G natural minor. So if I turn it off, it sounds like this. It sounds like shit. So with the transposer, it forces all the notes to be in the right place. And also a lot of plugins on this sound. We love the H delay. We always automate it and do stuff with it. It sounds really analog or warm. We love this one. You can totally destroy your sounds. It's really subtle, but if you want, you can really mess things up and bring out the weird stuff in sounds. It's like a upwards, downwards compressor. It's really cool. It's free. You should go to xfairrecordings.com and then download it. It's really good because it brings out stuff you wouldn't think of. So you can EQ your sound or compress it, but if you put OTT on it, it brings out well, what I said, the stuff that you did. They pay you to say that? Now it's free. So yeah. Really good plugin. Yeah, so altogether it sounds like this.
Can you feel it? 'Cause tonight it's going down. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? We go burn this to the ground. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Burn this to the ground.
So I'm going to talk about the drums. The thing we always do is use like lo-fi drums, hi-fi drums, live drums, sample drums, and all these kind of drums with different character. So you get like a more interesting or deeper sound. And also
we sample from YouTube or from
garbage cans or our records.
You can make it a drum if you like.
Yeah. We use every imaginable source. If we like it, we sample it, flip it around and use it. But we also sample our own drums. So if you listen to this, these are snares that we used in other records. Why do we do that? So if, for example, if we finish a track, we always bounce down the stems, the different parts of the track. So we can use it later, and then reprocess it, use it in other contexts, but it still has our character, you know, it has our sound. So it has our identity. We never use sample CDs or stuff like that, or sample libraries. Yeah, that's not how we work. So yeah, we have like a few layers here. But this is really dusty, but it adds to the character, you know, of the beat. Do is put it all in one bus. So we use a lot of bus mixing. So, for example, all the drums go always into bus 2. If you go to the project, beat, kick, bass, keys, vocals, percussion, effects, and then maybe some other buses. But why do we do that? Because we want to treat every part of the song, like the low end or the kick or the drums or the keys, as a track within the track. So we kind of pre-master all the different elements in our records. And then, like, people always ask us, what's on your master tape? Well, in this case, not much. We only have like the Fat Filter Pro and B to kind of control the low end a bit. Just to glue it a bit, and we always use this guy. It glues the whole mix together. It sounds really good. I think if you take it off, it sounds different. Gives a nice low end, a nice sparkling in the highs, and then we always use the Fat Filter Pro Amp. I think it sounds really, really good. Doing a really good job. They're Dutch.
So another example of using your laptop as a studio, and you can make music everywhere you like. We went to New York, and we hooked up with our friend Tommy Sunshine over there.
There he is.
And we sit down in his kitchen on the table with a laptop and I think your little bass box something, and then we came up with this track. Ton will show you now that it's simple as cooking a dinner in the same kitchen.
Yeah, it's the most simple track ever actually. So I always get people asking, how did you make the bass? Well, yeah, we had Simon and then we twisted some knobs. Okay, this sounds good. Producing is about applying your own taste to what you hear. It's like, if I turn this knob like this, do I like it? No, I like it more like this. That's all it is. So I started with this simple sound, just the square. It sounded a little boring, so I was like, maybe it needs more, tension. So I put a LFO on the pitch. Stuff. And there you have it. What's interesting about this track is that the master chain is quite complicated. Because we were sitting at the kitchen table again. And we were vibing, and I played this bass line. We all three were like,
If Tommy's hands go like then you know it's good.
so I played this, and you were headbanging, Tommy, and everybody was headbanging in the dark. But during this process, I just put some stuff on the master chain just to make it sound fat, and maybe later we kind of mix it. So I use this one to bring out the transients more, this trans-X multi by waves. Some EQ, vitamin. I didn't know this plugin, I put it on, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Some R-bass, we use this all the time, R-bass, it's amazing. It makes your track fat. We like that, so we like R-bass. Kramer tape again, and then I was like, oh, they have another tape emulation, let's hear what they do. And I was like, oh, if we put them together, it sounds even more awesome. So we kind of kept this, and this is how it came on the record. So it sounded good, and we're like, okay, we're done. So you don't have to overcomplicate things. Without it sounds. Master chain. It sounds more dirty. And maybe if a master engineer hears it, he goes like, oh my god. But we don't care. If it sounds awesome, then it's.
That's also why we never let somebody else master our tracks. We do that ourselves because we try to send them some to guys who master them, but with all respect for those guys, they will clean it up or they will make it flat. Or
yeah, and also every step in making a record for us is part of the creative process. So choosing the sounds, twiddling the knobs or whatever, EQing, bus mixing, and the mastering is all part of our creative process, and it's how we want to express ourselves.
Any question?
Yeah.
Hi.
You spoke about masters now. It's always spoken about it's complicated. Right?
Oh, it's working.
Hello. Mastering. So people always talk about it. Some people talk about it. It's complicated. You need special ears to do it. Blah 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 blah. You do it yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me about that process for you.
You need special ears.
It's all about taste. Of course, we know what we do, and sometimes we don't. It's like just trying stuff. The MS-20 is a great example of that. But it's for us, it's like, does it sound good, or does it make us dance, or that's the only criteria for us. No, so maybe some master engineer can make it better or whatever, but for us it's, okay, this is what we want to tell through our music. So that's all about it.
And sometimes we make a track and it's good as it is. And we always go to test it on the audience when we DJ. And sometimes we play the track the first time and we say to each other, it sounds crap, because in the studio it sounds so different than on a festival. And sometimes we make the track and then we put it on and we look at each other. Fuck, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it was the case with Scott the Drum, you know, made it at the kitchen table, and the first time we played it, we were like, okay, done.
For example, do you know what I mean? No? I can understand the track we did with 5 beats. We had made, I think, 23 versions before it sounds right.
7 maybe.
So
yeah, we didn't get the sound we wanted. You know? So in one way we're like, just, no, if it's good, it's good. On the other hand, we're really perfectionists. You know, and we like to tweedle.
So in essence of what you're saying is, well, if you have those good ears and you trust yourself, your own ears, trust what you're hearing basically.
Yeah.
And if you like it, run with it.
yeah,
Cool.
That's it, yeah.
Done.
Yeah, one more question.
So what are your strengths and weaknesses, and how do you play off of those in order to make good music?
I think our strength is that we really know what we like. Weaknesses maybe that
I think Tommy said once, you share a brain. And I think that's, we are like kind of the same, but we're also really much different.
Yeah. And that's sometimes also our weakness. So if we don't agree on something, we just throw it away.
If one of us don't like the bass line, it's out.
Yeah.
No compromise.
No. And so sometimes, I mean, we've thrown away great records, but yeah.
We made other. Okay, thank you all.